we're going to try to get this reaction video done today. Hopefully this stuff works out. We'll get down to it anyways. And then we'll get back on track with some other things we got. I want to talk about, got more updates coming for the stuff coming on for the possible earthquakes coming, other things like that for the judgment. If you haven't seen any of those videos, please go check them out. And as always, if you find anything interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And otherwise, I want to do this a little bit of a reaction video where we got this channel that's TYT Sports that is explaining a little bit about this Rage Against the Machine song and what it means. And now this kind of hits me because, one, I've been a huge Rage fan since like when they first come out. I remember me and my friend Tater, give you a shout out, and it didn't matter where we were jamming out to Rage Against the Machine, right? And it hit us just like many people. The message hit. But where are they now? Who knows? But anyways, let's go ahead and get started into this. And I'm sure many people out there watching probably have liked at least a few of their songs. And let's go ahead and check it out.
We know that at noon, just before the killings began, that the state government was notified by people within the surrounding communities, as well as by members from the human rights observance organization, the FUNAI, that vehicles carrying groups of heavily armed men were approaching Ateab. The state government's response was that, quote, everything was under control.
If there has been any band that has withstood the test of time,
as long as you have people in the Supreme Court who remain to try to pass their quote-unquote morality over the masses, I think it's wrong. And whether anyone agrees with abortion or not, it's wrong.
it is any problem.
Now, hold on a second here. Let's, for a minute. It's probably already getting ahead of myself, but let's just take a look at that statement right there. First of all, you're supposed to be Rage Against the Machine right there, right? And, you know, I'm not trying to totally cut what he's saying. At the time he was saying that, a lot of people believed it, agreed. And I agreed mostly with a lot of their statements, except you want to sit there and they're kind of pro-abortion, right? But at the same time, you're talking about the senseless murders brought about by the rich and all this and that. And that's exactly what abortion is. And you're talking about freedoms for everyone, but you want to take away the freedoms for that child. You know, take away that life, it's okay. You know, so right there, you know, this is something I never caught on to till more recently about these guys, you know, and other people like them. But here they are, big stars, getting everybody to riled up about the views, you know, about and agree with their views, but at the same time, it's kind of an oxymoron there. You're like, we're against senseless killings brought about by the rich, but we're okay with their abortions, right? And we believe all lives are free, all lives matter, and except the baby's life, right? So anyways, let's go on.
Back then are prevalent today.
It is clear that we are once again at a crossroads.
But the challenges that we face, they go way beyond administrations, way beyond elections, way beyond every 4 years of pulling levers, way beyond that. Because this whole rotten system has become so vicious and cruel that in order to sustain itself, it needs to destroy entire countries and profit from their reconstruction in order to survive. And that's not a system that changes every
bringing attention to the injustices, not just in the United States, but around the world, including but not limited to the most powerful nation land. All named the U.S. apology with birds and on this contract helped tourists telling this year. Put in perspective, the Peter G. Peterson Foundation at April 2024 voted the numbers. The U.S. dwarfs these 9 countries combined. In Rage's songs on parade, this and much more is addressed. A track that defined one via the progress U.S. policy. There's evidence today. The bar are sure to Bob and called Devoto. A Mexican revolutionary fought in the name of the Mexican people, joining and serving as a general in the Liberation Army of the South during the Mexican Revolution. He stood up for the rights of his countrymen, demanding land reform, addressing social injustice, and leading successful military campaigns. The line is essentially saying, get with the program, everybody. Be or continue to be an accessory to the war regime. And we know these 3 lines of fighting. Question thirst is the power that fights on. What's the war? I know interest about what you see on your screen. I the force that hopes the written sore on the face of Mother Earth is bigger. The tears hold the empty purse. From Benjamin Castle, it's continued warfare, freely unprovoked, waged by the world's most powerful nations for gains that amount to lioness over all else. In the other part, it's the continued fight of the conflict on sides of the conflicts. Then the chorus, rally around the family, pocket full of shells, 4 times. It's iconic and full of symbolism. There is no clear answer, but this is my interpretation. They believe our pro-family values, pro-nuclear wars, the same one taking money from the contractor who designed web war by entire regions of the world in the name of profit. Second verse.
Hold on right there. You know, the problem, I say I'm going to have myself, but who's Rage Against the Machine these days, right? And are they, you know, because, you know, in the defense of this video we're reviewing right here is, well, we'll get the title here. Rage Against the Machine warned us that this was our reality. And the thing is, this certainly has become even more of a reality. And they're talking about all this stuff and for profit and for greed. But as we can see, if we look today, this very Rage Against the Machine is right now, does not also describe who they are, you know? But I digress, right? Okay, trying to get back on track here. I'm trying to get my equipment to work right. Anyways, I'm hoping I get this stuff work right, then I start doing some live streams and stuff. Anyways, let's stay on subject and let's go ahead and continue on.
Food, not homes, not shoes, not need, just feed the war, cannibal animal eye. I thought Paper's Owl put this quite well in their write-up of the song. It remains clear the government prioritizes spending on the military above all else, including its own citizens. They could give a damn about us because they take direct orders from the ultra-wealthy who run not only these companies, but aid their respective political campaigns and careers. Zach would spit, walk the corner to the rubble that used to be a library, line up to the mine cemetery now. Look no further than U.S. defense contractors making and supplying arms that have turned places of learning to decimated territories that are no longer left standing. Rage continues. What we don't know keeps the contracts alive and moving. They don't gotta burn the books, they just remove them. Let's just start over. Keeping the American public in the dark is met with open arms by those who benefit. And that is always, across the board, plain and simple. From the Nazis, the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and many others in between, the practice of burning literature or taking them off the shelves is brought to light here. Lastly, while Arms Warehouse goes quick as the sales, rally around the family, pocket full of shells. This one is rather easy. We stockpile weapons and continue to clog and take up space in these warehouses the same way the presidential complex does in this country. On the top of the song, Jay from Medium has an idea. It reflects this. Bulls and aggressive animal only stop by force, as are the world's leading governments. People are going on ready to gain by any means necessary. Was that the worst bulls?
Now, just stop that. You know, 1, we're doing a reaction video, and 2, I'm not trying to just sit here all quietly and let somebody else's video play. That's not how this works, right? So I'm going to have to throw in my commentary. And I just want to say this guy is doing, like, I'm not trying to say go subscribe to them or whatever. If you find, you know, this is the only video I've seen from this channel so far. But he does a good job of explaining what this song is, the meaning of the song, and what, you know, getting down deep into what this song really is saying. And I appreciate it. He's doing a really good job. And, you know, before anyone jumps to conclusions, think this is all about cutting on Rage, because a few statements I've already made. I think the song portrays a lot of those feelings very well, and even more so today than did the time that it was released, when these guys were seeming to be authentic, right? I mean, when you dig into their background, you find out, like, most stars, they've came from a background already, that was not as hard as they try to, not as hard as you or I, right? But so this channel, TYT Sports, he's doing a good job of breaking down what this song is. Let's go on and continue.
Tom Morello's riffs, Brad Wilk's drumming, and Tim Comerford's bass. It combined for an ultimate classic on the United States Empire's history of oppression and tyranny. The first 8 lines have become a symbol for not just modern-day policing, but its history and how some things have never changed. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Morello would then explain the song on Talib Kweli's People's Party.
The timeless quality of that song has to do with with Zach's brilliant lyric, and to me it relates to something in the Frederick Douglass autobiography, where Frederick Douglass said he was freed from slavery, not the moment when he was leaving musical bonds. It was when Master said yes. I said no. Standing up against illegitimate authority wherever it is ugly.
The song was released not long after body being taking place in Los Angeles. It's clear from the one which suggests that the power structures of society are inherently caught, that those musicians are correct descriptions of tactics.
You gotta appreciate Tom Morello, especially for his guitar playing. As a guitarist, as myself, that he very talented, and he actually wrote many of the songs that of Rage's songs, and but he should know this more than anyone, because if you do your background on Tom Morello, it turns out that he comes from a descendant of high-ranking government agents, right? So, but anyways.
And seen here on the right is a music producer who worked with Rage on this track. He'd tell Louder Sound, the king beating was a big thing for the city. Zach and I had a long talk about the power of speech and how whatever he needed to say, he had to say it. Malcolm X was a major influence in Zach's life, and this was not the time to back down. Thus, the lines, "Now you do what they told you," are blatantly calling out everyone who dare not question authority, who dare not question the systems in place, but stridently and passively march to the beat of the drum of the evil empire. The stanza also speaks volumes to us as Americans, to not question authority, to roll over when given orders, and how this has been passed down from generation to generation, to not ruffle feathers, to think maybe I should go along with these atrocities, and that we are conditioned and programmed to follow the systems that are in place. And mainly, when it comes to police, that they do not. As a matter of fact, more decades ago, they are not only to us, it is everything healthy, or because the song, Zach Rib vocal, like feel, though the public sometimes cannot express. From Louder Sound once more, Killing in the Name, unsurprisingly enough, was slapped with a radio ban across most U.S. stations. The unedited video version was also censored on MTV. A majority of bands 655 would not many as they were a shadow ban. It was Europe, and as Billboard's Timothy White puts it, Rage created a lattice wall, a brighter, so deftly woven, destined to be the standard for the audience headbangers who dare follow. Zach told the LA Times in the year 1992, "I just felt it applied in a kind of message we were trying to put at the forefront of our music. I wanted to think of something metaphorically that would describe my frustrations toward this capitalism and how it had slipped and created a village of life."
All right, so we'll end it there. His video is right there, but we'll wrap this up. But so he does a good job explaining the song to us, and it's a great song. Both of them, Bulls on, a lot of the Rage songs, Bulls on the Parade, Killing in the Name of, the problem is, my thing is, I'm not saying don't listen, I still like the songs and stuff, but Rage are they not now raging for the machine? And this is where I get a big bit of a problem. They're talking about all this stuff about these guys started getting rich, and the last few concerts or tours that they've had, they were suddenly their ticket prices went through the roof. Like they thought that just because they're now considered classic rock or something, that suddenly they deserve to charge minimum $300 seats, right? And then it was like you had to be vaccinated. We're not letting you in to the concerts if you can't prove that you got the jab, or and you had to wear the mask, all that nonsense. And these are the guys that are saying, I won't do what you tell me, right? I'm just saying, my problem is it bothers me, because I remember when these guys came out, and my friend first turned me on to the first song I heard by them, and I was hooked, and I was like, yeah, this is, because that's who I've always been. Stand up against the system, but not fight for the system. Not once you get rich, you're part of them. And so a great job explaining what these songs means, and the meaning behind Rage Against the Machine when they started, right? But where are they now? And like many, they get caught up in the glam, and it changes them, right? Or they were false all along. Maybe they were planted in there all along, right? But anyways, we'll end it there, and go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I'll leave a link to this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you in the next video.